Namaskar, hearty welcome to this Chat with Champ show. Wonderful. Students are great leaders. Students are leaders and leader creators. They are very compassionate. And today we have two wonderful students who are going to talk about the wonderful journey and the support that they have mobilized and impacted during the pandemic COVID 19. Students who are going to be the change makers are going to speak about their journey, what they could do during this pandemic time. Let me have the pleasure of inviting both the champions for the day to the chat with champ. Hi, this is Aditi and Ritvik. Hearty welcome to both of you to the chat with champ show.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, let me welcome you with this flowers, right? And also let me formally welcome you with our chat with champ clap. Wow, awesome. Aditi and Ritvik, it's wonderful to have you both from the JBC and International School, ninth graders, 10th grader, students from the learners, we should say, from the JBC and International School at Borivali have come forward. They were all waiting for an opportunity to serve the society at large. And they found this pandemic. So nothing could stop us. Technology was in place. So both of them are the champions today who are going to speak about their journey. Aditi has impacted the lives of the girls through Dignity Project, and Ritvik has helped the migrants and those people who left their jobs and the people who wanted to have food during their hardship times. So both are compassionate, we can say, compassionate, filled, and they are full of love. So, Aditi, I would like to ask you first to start with this chat with Chap Show. How was your journey all about? How did you pick the cause, the dignity cause?
When I was given these three choices, I thought of IDF because I related a lot to this topic, and because I'm a girl. And in our current country like India, it is a social taboo with the stigma attached, mostly in underprivileged section of our society. And menstrual hygiene, especially for girls, it's linked to our own also sanitary needs. It's as important as that, and not everyone chooses to take care of it due to the affordability. So I thought that this will be a good cause for contribution. So this
Wow,
was my.
wonderful, wonderful. So you did the right job by selecting the cause which was dear to you and you wanted to help people. And particularly during pandemic when this was the basics were at stake, where people were not going for the basics and the basics for the girls and the women particularly. As we say, there's a tagline, there is no lockdown for a menstrual cycle.
Yes.
It's a natural process and we need to support the needy as we look into the need in the country which was very much there, and you came forward. Your contribution supported 200 girls and women in the process. I think that's a great journey. Big clap to you.
Thank you, sir.
Gratitude from Team IDF. Coming to Ritvik, Ritvik, you did a good job supporting the Meals to Heal project. I know the moment you have meals, it heal your tummy, it heal your stomach. The most important thing. If you say that the mind works when your stomach is full,
That
otherwise
is.
the mind doesn't work at all. So how did you choose this cause and how was the journey all about?
Okay, so I see three causes, and and then this topic instantly comes to me because you can't let people starve. We've seen famines and we've seen the impact they have on people, and it's horrible just to even hear about them. And I was given an opportunity to help soften the blow, so I took it.
Wow, that's really a great gesture from your side, Ritvik. You managed it beautifully well. You managed it beautifully well, and you could reach out to 100 plus families in a short span of time. Did you ever think that when you took up the cause that you will be reaching out to 100 plus families as a student, of course, We always feel that okay, I can reach out to one or two, but you reached to 200 families by providing the meals.
I I didn't expect it to be at this scale. No.
Yes, Aditi, I know the power of technology is with us, which has helped us to reach, far and wide, which could touch upon the many families. Had it been a journey where you had to go house to house and raise resources, do you think this much of resources would have been possible?
No, but no. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe there would have been. I know you would have reached out to a few number of people, right?
Yes.
And
But I
technology.
yes.
Yes, Aditi, please go ahead.
So, I mean, with the as in today's time, technology has enabled us to reach out to people much faster in a short span of time. Like earlier, we won't be able to. So I did was okay. When I what I did was that I drafted messages to the people to request like for support and for this cause, and I had direct telephonic conversations with my with my the people I knew personally, and I had given them and I told them to forward this messages to the this message to their own contacts as such.
Wow. So it multiplied. And all
Yes,
your friends and friends' friend, they all came together and they supported you in a
yes,
big way. That's really amazing. And you saw the miracle happening, miracle of reaching
yes,
out to 200 girls. I know the first contribution that you received would have brought that smile in your face, right?
yeah, yes.
Uh-huh. So, Ritvik, how much time it did take for you to get the first contribution?
It was actually almost instantaneous, but that momentum eventually died down, and I had to constantly make sure it stays relevant. And I think that's the tough part about raising money. It
Correct, correct.
eventually dies down. It's less
But
relevant.
once you made the first run in the cricket match, you then felt that yes, I can go ahead more, making more runs. So the first step is very important in life, right? The first step is very important in our life to the 1,000 mile journey or whichever journey that we take up. That's really great. So
Yeah, it always
the
feels.
yeah. So what Aditi, what came in your mind as you started approaching, and who was your inspiration?
When I started, I have to admit it was pretty overwhelming at first because this was my first time doing this fundraising campaign. I had no clue where to start with. And my inspiration, I think I would have to say my uncle because he had pretty much guided me throughout this entire fundraising. He was the one who planned with me the entire how to approach with this fundraising campaign. How can I raise money further with.
Wow, great. So inspirations are within the family and they inspired you. I'm sure when you would have seen the distribution drive, which we took it up at different locations where you could see girls and women coming and then supporting. We did the virtual distribution drive where the principal ma'am and the other faculty members were also part of the distribution and they all felt very happy. They acknowledged the support of all the learners from the JBC and International School where Aditi was also part of the entire journey, right? Ritvik, when we talk about the meals, where food play a very important role for your sustenance, for your, to energize yourself, and more so to have the perfect resistance power or immunity level during COVID-19 time, food played a very important role. So, the inspiration from you, who was your inspiration, and how the entire process helped you to make yourself as a great leader.
So the process taught me about more about how to keep something relevant online, as I already mentioned. Along with it, it taught me how to keep going, keep pushing a cause. It even taught me resilience because I came across a couple hurdles initially where there wasn't enough engagement, and I also wanted to. Yeah, that's about it.
Wow, that's really great. Yeah, being making you resilient and building confidence in you, and that has helped you in the journey. and you reach to such a great level, such a great height of 100 families. As a student, did you ever think that when the cause was taken up, Aditi, that the cause was to brought to you and you felt that as a student, can I at all take this cause? Because the problem is not locally, it is globally. The entire problem is globally. And I, as a student, I, as Aditi, what could I do? So I think what all things that went in your mind when you started this journey?
Like mostly, as much as I know, this as I said it earlier, this issue was something it's not talked openly in our society till this day, and we and as such, my mind was going through that. Will I be able to reach the fundraising goal or not? That mind was constantly kept on loop. But again, I told myself again, if it is not necessary how much money you bring, how much resources you raise. It at least if even if 500 rupees or even 1000 or even like at least 40 rupees or anything, if it at least goes to one girl, it would put a smile on my face for today.
Great. So I wish to tell the the viewers, particularly the champions who are watching this show, that a dignity kit consisted of a full year supply of menstrual hygiene kit, which could help women, which could also help the girls who are in great need of the health and hygiene kit. So I think the learnings have been great, and the journey has been great from your end. I think the beginning, which was that the first push that we say is very important, right? When you are pushed into the process and you said that yes, now I'm not going to go back. Let me achieve one, two, three, 400, 200 girls. Wow, that's a great journey. So what were the learnings, Aditi, during the entire process? If you have to tell our champions.
I think when I was learning basically about the entire fundraising campaign, I laid on one thing. If one begins with the right intent and sincerity, more and more people will come to support the cause.
Wow. Sincerity, honesty, and faith in the program. And where Aditi stands, when you say that your friends, your family friends, your relatives, everyone. So the supporters were far and wide, and from where all you got the support.
So most of the donors, one of like most of them were of my father's colleagues. They have worked with him for many years, and some of them were also from overseas, like my uncle and one of his colleagues also.
Great. So family support has been the crucial
Yeah.
thing for this crowdfunding program for supporting social causes during pandemic. Ritvik, how did your family take it up when you took up this cause? How was the response from the family side?
So actually, my family was really supportive of this as a whole. My mother was also extremely excited about this and also shared all my most of what I did. A significant amount of the donors know my mother personally or were acquaintances of my mother.
Great. So here you learn the power of digital media to help causes, right? Where you could reach out to people. There were no cash handlings. There were no, where you had to meet any person for that matter. Touching the heart was important. You took conveyed the message through your, appealing messages where people could come forward and support the causes in a big way. To narrate the entire story of JBCN success story, 1 million has been the entire contribution, and you formed a larger portion for that, and salutations to the entire JBCN family for this wonderful journey. So, if you look, Aditi, how do you place yourself from now to 10 years down the line? I know you are going to be in grade 10, and then you're going to take up different career path. So, what career appeals to you, or where do you think that you would like to stand?
I mean, as much as I know, I've always thought of going into the medical field, like not mostly or doctorate, but some other like organic chemistry or maybe something like that. I mean, thinking of the medical field or even possibly in career as an economist.
So you have here and there, the leg, one leg is on the chemistry side, one leg is on the economic side. I'm sure you will choose by the time you clear 2 more years where you are more clearer into your options.
Yes.
But both the lines are good and that will help you out, and both are going to benefit the society at large, right? Yeah. So Ritvik, where do we see you from now onward for next 10 years as a great
I
personality?
Yeah, I actually plan to pursue cybersecurity after this.
Oh, great.
When you see a growing world where more and more things have become digital, there was also this sudden leap in 2020 because of the virus. You see a growing need to protect data and to make sure that hackers don't take data.
Oh,
And I think that this field is becoming more and more prominent, more and more needed. It's also a field where I have a certain degree of interest in, so that contributes a lot as well.
wow. Cybersecurity is very important as we look into the digitalization that is happening throughout the world, and safety and protection of the people, the privacy and whatever that you say is very much important. So there is a good job for you because the world is waiting for you, Ritvik. Come soon, and embrace the work that is waiting for you. So Aditi, we need to understand the hobbies that you have, the hobbies that attract you. I know social work you got it now, or you were doing earlier also, but the hobbies that you which is closer to you.
Mostly in my hobbies, I think I usually do drawing. I do drawing of art, and I do dance and singing.
Great to know, Aditi, about your drawing and about your singing, which gives you stress free all through, and it helps you in your career also ahead because as you are calm and composed, it helps you a great lot in the days to come. Ritvik, of course, the champions who will be watching also would like to know the hobbies that you have, and I know you are going to talk about computers and cyber, but still the hobbies either from the sports side or anything else that you have.
So my number one interest would always be computer games, but I also in the sports side of things I enjoy endurance running. I think I'm
Mhm.
doing fairly well there. And before quarantine and before academic stress started to set in, I used to swim a lot as well.
Wow, great. So, do you think that swimming can also be your second line of career?
I don't think I'm that good yet, and I don't have any plans to actually pursue swimming, though I will continue to do it as a hobby once it becomes safe again to swim in swimming pools and practice again.
Great. I know when we talk about children, the life of children, and particularly students, it is always that you need to have that tricks and pranks going to the school, which you all missed out during this the lockdown, which all literally it has been for last 12 months now, last March to this March, and you have. Do you think you missed a lot, Aditi, during this pandemic?
Yeah, yes, mostly. I mean, I kind of do miss like meeting my friends, school friends, probably hanging out. It's been like that, but I think in the online class there are different kind of memories. So no, I'm not regret. I'm not thinking I'm not missing out much.
Wow, great. So when you have digital in place, of course, the what you could do through digitally also, but still, the school friends are school friends where you go to the institution and get the feel, which was really you missed out. Ritvik, I'm sure you also would have had your, not so good time during the lockdown time.
That's actually um, that's actually surprisingly off because I actually really enjoyed this year and ended up socializing more because
Oh,
as someone who is computer inclined, I ended up being able to socialize with my friends more, talk to my friends more.
uh-huh.
I also live quite far away from my school friends, so I now have the chance to interact with them even post school hours, which I really enjoy.
Wow. So for some it's an advantage, for some it's a disadvantage, but you took it as an opportunity to get connected to people. I think that's really a good way of looking, way forward, that yes, brighter days are there. How you make opportunities as a kind of a blessing. So same is what you also did for social causes, where social causes you felt that, oh, I'm not able to go personally and do, but still you could contribute, you could be part of this entire mission and make things possible. So nothing was impossible. As people say that things were all at standstill during the pandemic, it was not so. The trees were growing, we were growing, the classes were on, the financial institutions were on, everything was working beautifully well, except people were confined to the four walls, but things were all working well. I think so we need to thank technology at this moment. So looking forward to the journey of the plus and the minus that we had during our social journey which you took it up, Aditi. What are the pluses and the minus that you can find?
I think mostly the pluses, as much as I know, my strategy was initially more about social media. But then I realized that in a family, that there's so many people in a family, and with the donors, thanks to the donors, with of my father's colleagues and my uncle's colleagues, the I realized that there was some, like for example, in minuses, I would say social media did not perfectly work out for me, because as someone who is not really socially on social media, it was more difficult for me. But I mostly got the support of family, and it did help a lot quite. And I think without them, it would not have been possible without them.
Fantastic. Great. That's a good answer to this, that many pluses were there during your journey and you could convert that minus also into plus. Ritvik, I'm sure, were there any rejections when you approached people during this journey where people said that I have been part of many causes and but I don't want to be
Yes.
part?
Not like that. I had friends who genuinely wanted to support the cause, but simply, for example, didn't have the pocket money or anything to donate. However, even they helped in there a little bit by sharing, and actually had a lot of my friends donate. A couple, my
Mhm.
friends donate.
Oh,
So
very
even
good.
if you can't actually afford to donate, that you can always spread the word.
Great. I think the message went far and wide across globally, and people started opening the strings of the purse and trying to do what is best possible. So the entire process, there was no stoppage. The process went on. I think you had good training from the school side, from the crowdfunding platform side, and also from IDF. We could give you back end support of what all causes and that need to be taken up and things like that. That's really great. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful to hear about that, Ritvik. What all sports do you like?
So I already mentioned I don't actually follow up sports on television, any sport whatsoever. Though, as I mentioned, I do quite well with long distance running.
Oh, great. And how did you manage during the pandemic?
So we have a treadmill. So I practiced indoors, and even though I was practicing indoors, if assuming I run outside in winter, it's quite similar, and I've made sure that I don't slack or end up performing worse. Say I was to run just after quarantine.
Wow. So nothing can stop you. You keep running. We run for life. We run for causes. We run for education. So that running, the marathon in life is very important. That's really great. Aditi, sports for Aditi. What all sports that you do?
I have to admit, I'm not pretty much a sports person. I do not follow up on sports, but I'm mostly developed. I've thought of playing some sports, something more like handball, or maybe running. I've thought of that, but it's not something which has developed further into a liking and all.
Okay, great. So both of you who came forward and supported from the JBCN International School. You did for Dignity, Meals to Heal. And of course, we had the third project, I think, Mask for Masses also, where students came forward and supported in a big way, because masks were also very important in the pandemic time, and it is still important. And it will remain part of the attire that we are going to wear, and things need to be taken care. Life is going to be in a different way. What we were thinking before Corona and after Corona, it's going to be different. So, was there any fear factor when COVID-19 had struck?
It was actually a bit of the opposite for me. When COVID 19 first struck, a lot of us were actually thinking, 3% death rate, what could possibly go wrong? And then when the healthcare services started to fall apart, is when we realized that the 3% death rate was going to increase if we didn't make it worse, and that older people could be at risk if we went outside. And that's when we started to become not scared but cautious, because when the lockdown set in, you know that you can't spread it if you don't leave.
Yeah. Were you scared, Aditi, at any point of time?
Like at first, when in Mumbai, when only two, three cases had appeared, I was like, maybe it's fine, maybe it might go down. But eventually started rapidly increasing, and I was a bit worried because that would we had also some students they were a bit sick. I didn't know which how, but I was more worried about the if I'm touching anything, if I'm not being with someone and all. And also eventually when it increased and everything in this lockdown got imposed, like let's say it was different for me. I was able to calmly, I was safe with my family, unlike my brother. He was in the college, so during the entire lockdown he was staying in his hostel until he came home finally. So for me there was a bit of fear factor, but eventually me and my parents and my brother as a family we put together.
Oh, great. So I think when the togetherness was very much seen during this time, and of course Ritvik had his own answer of saying that things are okay, because he believes in all those statistical analysis. He analyzes things, that things are all safe. That's really great for a student like you to keep abreast of what is happening nationally and internationally. So if I have to ask you, one national and one international leader of your choice, Aditi.
Okay, national leader and international leader. Let's see. National leader probably Narendra Modi. An international leader. That's a bit. That's a question which is a bit fuzzy in my mind right now.
Maybe Aditi will be the international leader in the days to come.
Somehow we have to see.
We need to think big, aim high. Who knows, one day it can happen where we can see that leaders, the Indian born people in America become the international leaders over there, vice presidents over there. I think it can happen. No one knows what's there in the card, right? Good things
Yes.
are there. Yeah, great. So, Ritvik, I also would like to know about your, the icons from India and also internationally.
So, just like Aditi, I think a national icon right now would be Narendra Modi, because despite his controversies, he managed to pull India through a pandemic, and we have to credit him for that. And internationally, I would actually support Jimmy Donaldson or Mr. Beast, having raised millions of dollars for people affected by COVID in the United States. As we know, it hit horribly there.
Mhm.
So that's something that I'd say that also
Wow.
needs to be acknowledged.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, as we have known about your wonderful support for the causes, both have supported for Dignity and Meals to Heal, and things are going very well. And you have been an icon. In fact, if you look from your family perspective, people may say that Aditi is an icon, Ritvik is an icon. Look, as a student, see how good things that they have done. So, I think this is a proud honor wherever you go once the pandemic is up, and when you start moving, and when you narrate about your story to people. As a student, you have done for 200 girls, for 100 families, you have done, Ritvik. So these things, when they hear, you become an icon in the eyes of many students. I think this is going to happen, and the journey that you have set forth, you are not going to give back, or you're not going to stop over here. the journey will still continue, maybe for any pandemic, for any causes, for any epidemic that comes in. So the cause that you have taken up, it will remain for days to come. So the message that we need to hear from you to the youth around, so either the students and the youth in the country, what message, Aditi, that you would like to offer?
I would have to say that Billy, one thing that would be that you are the further generations. You are the ones who will be changing the world. You are the ones who are going to be inventing new discoveries and everything. And and believe and believe in yourself, because you never know, these ideas might become the new discovery, like how Isaac Newton had discovered gravity. So something like that.
Fantastic. I think keep your minds and eyes and ears open. Newer things will come, and your message of discovery will certainly happen. As you said that you are going to go for medical line, and these discoveries, who knows, the next Nobel is sitting before me as Aditi Nobel. So write down. It may happen one day. Yes. So Ritvik, your message to the champions and the youth in the country and the world.
So I'd say there are plenty more problems coming our way, and we're going to need bright minds to solve them. And we all have the potential to solve problems, no matter how large, when if we work together. And if everyone does a little bit, the problems could eventually be softened or stopped. I mean, there are about 7.8, almost 8 billion people in the world now. Um, for example, most people can always help. There's always a way to help, and if you're ever given a clear opportunity to help, don't turn it down. I promise you won't regret it. It feels great at the end.
Wow. Don't give up and don't regret for the good that you do, because it's going to bring good and good for the people. Wonderful messages, both Aditi and Ritvik, you have given. It was indeed an honor to chat with both of you and learn many things. And you are great icons for me too. And I'm sure the days to come, they are going to recognize in a big way the great work done by these two champions. Wonderful time we had chatting at this Chat with Champ show. So, viewers, you are watching this wonderful journey of Aditi and Ritvik sharing their journey to support causes, dignity, that is menstrual hygiene management program for 200 girls supported by Aditi. And Ritvik did his job as a student. Both of them, Ritvik supported Meals to Heal program, providing dry ration kits for the families, 100 families, or the migrant laborers, people who lost their jobs. So wonderful things can be done. सभी को अच्छा करना है, साथ मिल करके, together we can change the world is the message that we have been hearing. Lot of motivation that we keep hearing, and pandemic has taught us lot of life lessons which a university cannot teach us. So सभी को कुछ ना कुछ अच्छा करना है. जब सब साथ में मिलते हैं तो बहुत अच्छा काम होता है. बूंद बूंद से तो सागर बनती है, लेकिन सागर सागर से महासागर बनती है. आओ हम सब मिलके कुछ अच्छा करते हैं. लाइफ इज ब्यूटीफुल. लेट्स मेक इट ऑसम. गॉड ब्लेस यू ऑल.